This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we will start now. So day before yesterday session, we have discussed about what is an application and what are the types of applications. And after that, OOPS concepts we started with yesterday. So day before yesterday, we discussed about application and types of applications, operator ID, and we started working on creating new application. We created framework application. That is a practical one, just navigations. And after that, yesterday, we have created implementation application. So up to that, that is second practical. First practical is creating framework application, which you have to do the same. And second practical is creating implementation application on top of framework application. Once these two practicals are completed, we have discussed about the relation between framework application and implementation application with Pega platform. Okay, so while creating new application, clicking on build from scratch, that is going to create our application on top of Pega platform. Okay, and clicking on any other application name there, it creates the application on top of whatever the other application that you have clicked on. So while creating framework application, we have chosen Pega platform. While creating implementation application, we have chosen framework application. Okay, so this is how we have created our applications. I think it is not available here. I will open another document. Hold on. So see here. So this is what we have done. So we created already Pega platform is available. On top of it, we created one framework application. And on top of the framework application, we created implementation application. So we are providing accessibility like that. Okay. And after this has been completed, we have looked at application definition, and we were able to find out where is this relation being built. That is built on application. That is what? Built on a parental strategy. Okay, that is built on application. Okay, see, for an application, the built on application will be mentioned in its definition at this particular option. This is what we have seen. We can change it if we want to change it, but I'm not changing now. And furthermore, we were discussing about OOPS concepts, where we were discussing about encapsulation. Encapsulation is different functional components of a business process grouped together into one single unit structure. That is called encapsulation. Okay, so it is a practice as per the defined methodology of object-oriented programming system, that we have to create functionalities in a unit structure. The process is called as encapsulation. And CPP, Java, C#, VB, all these technologies have built based on OOPS concepts. So they have implemented this encapsulation and they named it as class. They named it as class. So encapsulation concept and the reality in technology is class. So class is a unit structure which will have different functional components grouped together. When we run the class, when we execute the class, then the functionalities will get executed one by one in an order that you will be defining. Okay, see, class is going to have not only functional components, but also it will have attributes. What will be there? Attributes will be there. I will tell you about these attributes. Yesterday we discussed like car is an example of class. Okay, if you are considering the unit structure, which is class, it in the as a physical entity, it is car. Car is a unit structure which will have different functional components grouped together. what are the functional components? Engine, steering, gearbox, wheels, and so many other things, accelerator, like this, See, what are the attributes here? So when I say attributes, the inputs that you are going to provide to the functional components. Can you tell me what are the inputs you provide to one simple input you can easily say? Gear number. Okay. So what will be that you are providing? You are going to provide an input of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As per the input, the overall behavior will be depending, correct? If you are going to have an input of 2 for the gear, then the speed will be controlled accordingly. If it is 5, then accordingly it will be behaving. So these inputs will be there. So these are called as attributes which will hold values, So the gear number is a input that you are going to provide to the attribute. Okay. So here, this is what class is: a unit structure which contains different functionalities and also attributes. You will be providing values, input values to the attributes. Based on that, accordingly, the functional components are going to behave. Okay. And next, coming to the next concept of object-oriented programming system. So this is what we have discussed till yesterday, encapsulation and class. And the next object-oriented programming concept is inheritance. What is it? Inheritance. So just now we discussed, like, we are going to create different functional components, place them, group them into one single unit structure. Why don't you create for everything one functional component? It may not be possible. In a business, we need to have different segments of functionalities being created, and all those are going to work together. Even though they are independently created, we are going to group them. So when together working, it will have a meaning. Suppose you take Amazon application, search functionality, product search functionality, products display functionality, cart functionality, checkout functionality, and payment functionality. All these are different functional components. Each one, if you take it separately, it will become an individual functional component. But it will not have any meaning when it is individually being taken out. So it has to be grouped into one class called, let's say, purchase product. Class is purchase product. In that, all these functional components are available, which are working together. And also one more thing is, whenever we are going to set up a business, we do not create all the functional components and place them into single class. We will not be doing it. We will be creating again different multiple classes. I will tell you one example. Just listen to me carefully. Okay. So here you go now. Let me maximize this. Okay. Now you can see it better. Okay. Inheritance, right? So now here, let's take an example of a banking system. Okay. So bank is a whole application. Bank is whole application. So you have an application called bank. So there are so many different business functionalities that have to be processed. Now let's look at the bank and divide this bank into different departments. Let's have different departments like banking operations. What is that? Banking operations. Class లో ఉన్నాను ఏంటంట? అవునా, నీకు పంపించాలా, ఎవరికి పంపించాలి? రత్న గారు ఇటు రండి ఒకసారి. రత్నం గారు అక్కడ ఒకసారి వాచ్మెన్ ఉన్నారు, పిలవండి. అదే నేను just give me 1 minute, there is some issue. I'll be back in 2 minutes, please wait. వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నారు వెళ్ళండి. ఆయన వస్తున్నాడు, పంపించాను. Okay, so let's begin now. So in inheritance concept we are going to discuss about. Suppose if you take bank as an application, within bank there are different departments. Banking department, which is going to deal with creating new bank accounts and deal with processing different banking transactions like money deposit, money withdraw, and more like this. And there can be a loan department, and there can be an insurance department within the bank. Okay, and also there can be verification department. Like this, there are different departments. Those are going to work on the specific tasks that are being assigned with. See, why we are dividing this particular operations, banking related operations, into different departments. Can we not do everything by setting up as a single department? Isn't it possible? It is possible. You have only one department doing everything, also it is possible. But what would be the problem? What is the reason for dividing like this? In general, you need to think about. In general, you need to think about why should we have these many separate departments who are going to work on insurance, loan, banking, verification, like this. It is a proper way of designing your business structure where it will be easy to maintain and easy to manage. Suppose everything is at one place, the managing will be difficult, and also the structure will not be proper. It will not be good. Okay, so see, technology always follows the reality. So in the real world, how the business is going to set up, the same way your business application also should be having a setup. So if you are trying to design, you can sit. Okay, no, not here. You can sit here, right? There is no space, right? That's okay. Okay, so if you are creating one business application, it should exactly resemble the real business how it is, okay, already available. So if you are creating one application, let's say for example bank, in that you need to create different functionalities. The functionalities related to banking, the functionalities related to loan, and the functionalities related to insurance verification. So different functionalities together you can place in one single class, but that is not a good way. How many departments you have in reality for all these? 4 departments you have. Each department to be created as one class within the bank application. So how many classes we will be creating now? 4 different classes. Instead of 4, I can create everything in one single class also. But what would be the problem if you are creating in a single class? It will be easy, it will be difficult to maintain and manage. Okay, so in reality, how we are setting up, the same way we have to set up in the digital technology also, where you are creating one bank application and you are going to create all these 4 as different classes. So the functionalities of banking you are going to put into a class called banking, and loan functionalities in which class? Loan class. So insurance class, verification class. Like this, you are going to create more than one class in your business application. Each class contains different functionalities. This is a proper segregation and proper design of your business. In general, I am saying, everyone clear? So why do we, so we are creating classes in our application, okay, and that classes will have functionalities. Okay, let's go back a little bit. See, at the very beginning, while we were discussing about application, I told you one point that application contains functionalities, right? But what we are learning now is class contains functionalities. Application contains functionalities was being told, and today I'm saying that class contains functionalities. Which one out of this is true? Both are true. Let me tell you.
Does class overrule application?
Over?
Application?
I did not get you.
Does the class functionality overrule the application?
No. Just listen to me. See here. See here. This is how it is going to be. Your application contains functionalities. Class contains functionalities. The reality is like this. Class contains functionalities. Application contains classes. Application contains classes, means ultimately functionalities are there inside application, correct? So your functionalities you are creating inside classes. Where are these classes? These classes are there inside application. On day one, why did I not mention this? Because you do not aware of what is a class on day one. That's the reason why I said simply application contains functionalities. Ultimately, application contains functionalities, but where? Inside application we have classes, and inside classes we have functionalities. Okay, clear everyone? So now an application can contain different functionalities into the class, and it can contain multiple classes. Each class will have some specific functionalities related to specific business transactions that you are going to perform. Okay, and coming back to the notepad. See, okay, different classes you are creating, and you understand the reason why we need to have a number of classes in an application instead of one single class. In reality, how you set up, the same way you should have different classes with different functionalities. Okay, now the next topic that we are discussing about inheritance, right? Inheritance, what is the meaning of inheritance? Inheritance means it is accessing the functionalities of one class into another class, where 2 classes will involve. Minimum how many classes? 2 classes. Let's say, for example, class A or class B inherits from class A. If I say like this, for example, class A is present here. Okay, class A is present here. Okay, class B is here. Class B inherits from class A. What does it mean? Here, class B is inheriting from A, which means A is considered to be as parent class. What is A considered to be? Parent class. B is considered to be child class. B is considered to be child class. So now B can access the functional components that are available in A. Anything that is available in class A will be accessible to B, but not vice versa. This is general concept of inheritance. See, if you are placing functionalities inside a class, okay, you have multiple classes. There may be a need. One department wanted to access something from another department, correct? Some inputs, one department need some inputs from another department. So departments also coordinatively work together by sharing different business needs. So one class may need to access the functionalities of another class. So in that case, how it can access? When we define a relation between the classes. What is the relation we are going to define? Inheritance relation. When inheritance relation is defined between two classes, where one class is going to act as a parent, another class is going to act as a child class. Child class can access the functionalities of parent class, but not vice versa, meaning that a parent cannot access from the child. Like in our real life, parents and children. So father and son can access the property of father. That's how it works in India. But reverse is not possible generally. Okay. So this is the right that son is going to access the property from father. So parent and child relationship, children can access the property of parents, but not vice versa, generally speaking. Okay. The same way how it works in reality, the same technology is also been designed in the same manner. Let's look at here now. Let's say, for example, I create one more class, class C. I say that inherits from class A, inherits from class B, inherits from class B. Now you can see here, class C is child class of B and B is child class of A, which means C can access the functionalities of B. B can access the functionalities of A. Also, C can access the functionalities of A. So this is in this particular inheritance, parent of parent of parent of parent, all that will be accessible to bottom level. Okay, clear?
To improve efficiency would be, say, like in some scenario, so that the application works quicker. Do we say class C inherits from class A directly, because then it will have to go to
You can see, it is up to you. See, if you want a class to access the features from two different classes, okay, so if you have that need, then take the child class and make it a child of child. Child of child means child of child means the bottom one, the above one is parent, and it can access above to above also. If you want both of these classes to be accessible.
Even when class B is inheriting from class A, can we have certain functionalities that are not in class A and class B?
Yes, yes. See, you need to think about real world. See, in the reality, one department is accessing the functionalities from another department, right? So let's say banking department or loan department is trying to access the functionalities of banking department. Bank department will have its own functionalities, loan will have its own functionalities. So loan department, apart from having its own functionalities, it will try to access other functionalities from some other department. Same way, a child class will have its own functionalities. At the same time, some functionalities it will try to take it from parent class. I will tell you about the advantages why we need to design like this and all with example. Let's finish this and then we come to other questions and all. Just be with me. Now see here. See, when would you go for this type of inheritance? Okay, you wanted to access the functionalities of one class into another class. That's okay. You're defining inheritance relation. But what is the need and where is the need? Okay, that is the question. Look at here now. See, a banking department while creating a bank account. Let's say, for example, we are creating one bank account for some organization, some company. Okay, so for Harsha Trainings Academy, we are creating one corporate account. So they have to come visit here and see Harsha Trainings is present, and then only they will check all our GST numbers, everything they will check, and they will visit here and okay, it is there. We will try to open a corporate account for you. And if you're applying for the loan also, same thing. If you're applying for insurance also, it should be entity should be present. Then only you take insurance for the CEO of the company when company is proposing. I'm talking about the company insurance, for example, for better understanding. Now, for all of these, someone is going to come for verification. Means the verification department needs to work commonly for all other departments, correct? So for example, verification department is not present, for example, not present, then banking department should have its own verification functionalities, loan department should have its own verification functionalities, insurance department should have its own verification functionalities. Okay, instead of creating 3 times, what would I do? I will create one class called verification. Verification is one class now. Class verification, and some functionalities are there which are needed for verification. Okay, now we have a class called banking. Does banking class requires verification functionalities? Yes or no? Now what would you do? Inherits from verification. Now I have another class. We have another class called loan. Class loan inherits from verification department. So here you go now. Next class insurance inherits from where? Verification department. See, there will be some departments which we need to access commonly. Okay, common departments are there. Means this is needed for every other department. So all other departments wants to access, all other or some of the departments wants to access the functionalities from another department. We can achieve it by inheritance. But what is the need? This is the business need. So this is one example. So the verification department has to work, take the inputs from, verification department has to work for all the banking. So when bank account is processing, at certain point in time, they are going to access verification department. They call the team and send the team, and team is going to have its own tasks to be finished. Similarly, loan department and insurance department. So it is a reality. In reality, it is a need. So because the need is there, the technology has implemented it. So what is the advantage of implementing like this? Why don't you have verification tasks created at banking, created at which one? Loans, created at insurance. If you are doing this, you need to create the same functionalities 3 times. How many times you need to create? 3 times you have to create. Instead of creating the same functional components again and again at 3 different classes, we are creating commonly at one place and accessing from the common place to the all other levels. Okay, I'll tell you one simple example. For example, let's take an example of double bedroom flat. Okay, hall, bedroom 1, bedroom 2. In bedroom 1, we have fixed one TV. Okay, people in bedroom 1 will be watching it. Okay, so what about bedroom 2? If I want to watch TV, someone, we have to fix one more TV in bedroom 2. So now how many TVs we have? 2 TVs. Instead of that, I wanted to sort it with only one TV so that it will be commonly accessible to both people who are staying in room 1 as well as room 2. Then how can I achieve it? So take the TV into common place called hall. So everyone can watch it now. So now redundancy has been reduced, right? Cost has been reduced. You're not recreating again and again. Same thing. Redundancy means you are not recreating again and again. Okay. And easy to maintain. Okay. Now, if there are any changes needed in the verification process, I don't need to make the changes at 3 places. Where do I make? I will make here. Changes, if you make anything here, will reflect every other place in the bottom level. Correct? So the advantage of creating this structural design to have inheritance relation defined between the classes, it reduces redundancy, easy to maintain, cost effective, okay, easy to extend. Easy to extend or not? Tomorrow, if I am going to bring one more class, some different class, okay, let's say, can you tell me anything else in the banking apart from this?
Rural bank.
So if I am going to add something like, let's say, personal banking or otherwise mortgage related, okay, class mortgage, then what are you going to do now? Inherits from verification. So you don't need to create verification functionalities here once again. Already it is there. Try to reuse it. So reusable, no redundancy, reusability, easy to maintain, easy to extend. Exactly same as what we have discussed about framework and implementation application. That is application perspective. This is classes perspective with respect to inheritance. Everyone clear? So now, if you want to access the functionalities of one class into another class, what is must? What should be there? How do you access the functionalities of one class into another class? Inheritance is must. This point you need to keep in mind strongly. So functionalities will be there inside classes. Inside classes. Classes will be there inside application. Ultimately, within the same application, you have two different classes. Class A has functionalities, class B has functionality. Class B wants to access the functionalities of class A. How it can access? When there is a relation defined. What is the relation called as? Inheritance relation. When there is inheritance relation defined between the classes, then only it can access the functionalities. Even though all the functionalities belongs to same application, still if the functionalities of same application also have to be accessible from one class to another class between classes, what is must? Inheritance. In the same way, if an application wants to access the functionalities of another application, application 1, certain classes are there. Application 2, some classes are there. From application 2 to application 1 classes we want to access. Still inheritance is needed or not? This should be pretty much clear to every one of you. Please try to understand. If you create application on top of another application, doesn't mean it can access everything. Functionalities are not directly there in the classes, in the application. Where are the functionalities? In the classes. So application to application is must. At the same time, functionalities you're accessing from classes of one application to classes of another application, correct? Sometimes. In that case, also inheritance is must. Very simple thumb rule. If you're accessing functionalities of from one class to another class between the classes, inheritance is must. Whether those classes are inside same application or outside other application, whatever it is. Understand everyone clear? This point you keep in mind. We will come back to that point once again after some time. So now the concept of inheritance, what did we learn? Inheritance is the relation defined between two classes which allows one class to access the functionalities of another class. If we have two classes A and B, if B is inheriting from A, then B can access the functionalities of A, but not vice versa. A is treated as parent and B is treated as child. If you have three classes A, B, C, B inherits from A, C inherits from B, then C can access the functionalities of B as well as A as long as the chain is proceeding. Okay. And inheritance is needed in the business. Considering the real business setup, we need to replicate using the technology where we would be creating different classes and different functionalities into different classes. We may have to access the functionalities of one class into another class. That's why inheritance is existing. And if we want to access the functionalities of a class into another class, inheritance is must, whether the classes are of same application or another built on application, whatever it is. Clear everyone? So now see here. So what are, okay, we said that we are going to create functionalities inside classes, correct? Now next topic that we are going to discuss about is types of classes. What is that next topic? Types of classes. So what are the different types of classes in Pega or normally object oriented programming? All this is very generic. Whatever the
Harsha,
topics that about encapsulation, class, inheritance concept so far, and types of classes, all these related to object oriented programming system, not only for Pega. Anywhere you go, this concept will be there, whichever is implemented by using OOPS. Yes, please. Someone online trying to ask a question. What was that?
Harsha, so in this banking example, what are the attributes?
Yeah, banking example. What are the attributes if you are creating bank account? Very simple. Customer name, customer ID number, customer address. These are all attributes. In loan same will be there. Additionally, what is the type of loan? that you are looking for, and what is the loan amount that you are looking for, what is your salary details. All these are attributes. Understand? Functionalities are like, whenever a customer comes for a loan, I wanted to check whether this customer already exists with my bank in the past or not. Correct? How do I check? Search functionality. I'll take your ID number, phone number, some details, search with one of the parameters. If I find the record in my bank, you are already there. Okay, old customer. I don't need to collect everything. I already have. I'll pull the data. Search functionality. That is one functional component in loan. Like this, there can be a number of calculation of loan amount that can be given to the customer as per his details. Calculation functionality. CIBIL score retrieving from the outside services, web service functionality. There can be n number of functional components like this, n number of different attributes. We need to, when we are learning any technology, remember one thing, not only Pega, we need to think about the real world, outside what is happening. Okay, you take a business entity, and inside business entity, what is happening? Exactly the same you redraft as a digital project, that is called as software product. Understand?
Like login functionality.
Login functionality is one functionality.
Like a login functionality, do we have a sign up functionality built in as well?
You can build sign up functionality. For example, if you want to access Amazon application, then you may have to sign up. First you create your account, not even Amazon application, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you're accessing. What is the functionality there? Sign up. What are the attributes? Your details are the attributes, and functionality to store the data, to retrieve the data, to search already existing customer or not. All these are different functionalities written already. I mean, like, will be written, and attributes are basic details of the respective customer. Okay, so now here you go. We are going to discuss about types of
One
classes.
question.
Yes, please.
See, if you want to derive use functionalities from one class to another, we should always have a relationship between them, right? Like, parent or
Perfect.
child.
Correct.
Okay.
Without that inheritance relation, no, cannot access. Yes.
Yeah, and this is possible even within application or across the application. In
Different
that
application.
case, what is
Built
the
on application.
advantage?
Different applications which are built on. I created two applications separately. How application can see application 2? It cannot see unless that is a built-on application. Correct? Yes, go ahead.
So if it is not a built-on application, then we cannot, even if there is a relation, we cannot derive the functionality. Is that what you're saying?
You cannot even define the relation. If it is not built-on application, you cannot even drag the relation. Not possible. Only when it is built-on application, then relation. Setting up relation is possible. First, you need to set up the relation, right? Between one class, you want to inherit from another. While creating, you inherit from other. Other class will be visible to you only when it is same application or built-on application. Some other third-party application, no. Not related application, you cannot access. Okay, clear everyone?
Harsha,
Yes. Yes,
you
please.
said
One
that
by one.
verification department has a common functionality for banking and loan department insurance. So a real world, the verification has a difference. It may 70% is common functionality. It 25% it may difference. How we are going to handle the verification department?
See, each department may have its own functionalities which will be used inside it, plus some common functionalities which needs to be supplied to other places. Without its own specific functionalities, it cannot function. Correct? So you are going to find out common functionalities which are needed. Place these common functionalities at the parent classes. At the parent class, its own functionalities will be there in its class that will be used during processing. Okay, that you will come to know only when you know about business. Without knowing business, how do you know which is common functionality, which is specific functionality of that particular class? You don't know. Correct? So it is very much essential for every one of us. While learning any technology, you must know about the real business, then only you will be able to be a good technical person. Okay, you don't know anything about business, you know everything about Java, what you can do? You cannot do anything. You did not understand business requirement. Okay, but you are technically good, so any use? No use, right? So technology is just 50%. Remaining 50% is reality. Reality means real business. The one who knows about the business very well, and they can be a good technical person at the same time if they are learning the technology in a proper way. Okay, so understanding business is very, very important for every one of us. Clear?
Harsha, I have a
Yes,
question,
please.
quick question. When we have implementation and framework, okay, there are two different classes. One is in implementation and one is in framework. So it
Okay,
can be called vice versa.
see, one class A is in framework, class B is in implementation. Class B, we can define a relation between class B and class A where class B is going to be child, class A is going to be parent. Reverse you don't define because the applications are on top of one another, right? The same direction you need to take. If you're taking reverse, actually there is no meaning. Right? Your previous creation is wrong or this definition is wrong. Either. Understand clear? So always we take the classes from same application or from built on application. Obviously it is built on application means that will be a parent class for sure. Go to built on application, try to access child application classes, it will not show. Okay, it will not show. We will be seeing all that practically going forward. Okay, so now before we proceed forward, I will take 3 to 4 minutes time, and let me tell you this. So for all those students who have finished their fees payment, completed their fees payment, by this time you must have been added into WhatsApp group which we created. If you are opting for online training, you must be there in a group which starts with 602 online, which is like 602 online. If you're a classroom student, 602 CLS, right? And yesterday I have sent a message yesterday in the groups which has a Google form, If you are not there in the group by this time, means you did not enroll so far. Your fees is not yet been paid. You did not enroll so far. And let me go to that group where it is available. Okay. So in the group, yesterday I have shared a Google form. Everyone who is there in the group, all the resources who are in the group must complete the task of submitting this particular form. We will be taking your email ID from this form only. I'll be taking your email ID from this particular form only. So I need your email ID to be collected along with your photo. Why we need your photo? Let me tell you. There are some cases I have pinged again in the group. If you did not finish this task yesterday, right away you take your phone and finish that task.
Sir,
Someone who is there in the group but not yet submitted this form, is there anyone like that? Finish now, right away you take your phone and do it online. Someone who is in the group by this time but you did not finish submitting this form, please do it right away and reply immediately. I will wait for 3 more minutes from now. It will not take more than 2 minutes. Please make it fast.
Which
We need
form
your
you are saying?
email ID.
We are seeing only your notepad.
That's what I'm saying. WhatsApp groups are. I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
WhatsApp group. You are enrolled student. You must be there in the WhatsApp group. Go take your phone and go to group. You must be having that message again sent. It will take only 1 minute. Yesterday, I think many people have finished this, right? You ignore. If you already submitted, don't submit twice. Okay. No need to submit. If you are not done, submit now. I'll wait for 2 more minutes on this. You have to give Gmail ID only to avoid access issues. And the second one is last parameter, last one, your full first name, last name, or full name we are taking, your WhatsApp number that is there in the group we are taking, and your email ID we are taking. Classroom or online you are choosing accordingly. And last one is your photo, clear photo. If you are an online student, one day you wanted to come here and sit for offline classes sometime, how do we know whether you are online student or not? We need your photo there, whether you are offline or online. So we are collecting only your photo. We don't need your ID proofs and all. Okay, clear photo. Don't take a photo like a cinema hero and all upload. Okay, upload with clear photo with proper size. Okay. I'll wait for 2 more minutes on this. If you have not done online, you finish it. If you are not there in the group by this time, maybe you are yet to make the fees payment and complete it today, because today you will receive on WhatsApp as usual. Today we will collect this email address from this form and create email group. From tomorrow we will share only in email group, and meeting link also will get changed. I'm sorry, is that Pongal celebration form? No. There should be another. Did I share Pongal celebration form?
No, it's different.
Huh?
It's different.
No. Just now I shared, right? Is that a Pongal celebration form? I'm just worried about it. Leave about it. I'm talking about the form which I have shared just now. I shared in the group, right? I'm talking about WhatsApp group, not personally. Are you in the group?
No. It's a training, Harsha training student enrollment. It's not a Pongal.
I'm talking about WhatsApp group, not individually.
Yeah.
Did you pay the fees and enroll? When? But you have not been added into group. Okay, at the end of the class, you go to Satya and show her the screenshot, everything, and get it done, and ask her this link. She will share. If anyone is there, you have made fees payment just some time back in the morning or now, we will be adding after some into group. Again, we will be sharing that form link. Okay, don't worry. Maybe you have done it at the midnight. We might not have added you. Online group separate, classroom group separate. It is a process we are following.
Harsha, hello.
We will see. She is not. We will be learning slowly. Yes, please. I have muted. Just unmute and say once again, because I'm getting echo. I have stopped it.
Harsha, I didn't need any Google form.
You need to listen carefully. Ask me. Okay. I said clearly, you are there in group, you will have it. Otherwise, ignore. That is not for you. That is only for the people who are in the group, not outside, right? You know whether you are in a group or not, correct? You don't know about WhatsApp group. Are there anyone like that? I'm pretty much worried sometimes. I told yesterday also, I'm sending you the details. You are not seeing your WhatsApp messages and messaging me. Again, 2 to 3 people did the same. We know how people are going to think. Okay, they are in hurry, they'll send message. That's it. They do not see the conversation backward. Okay, now you might have done it. Thank you so much. Types of classes. There are 2 types of classes in object-oriented programming language. Abstract class and another one is concrete class. If you are creating a class, it can be either abstract or it can be either concrete. How do you know which class to create is a final question. First of all, what is abstract class? What is concrete class? I'll tell you.
What is default in both? Like if we have not mentioned.
Wait, man. First, listen what is abstract, what is concrete, and know about the need, and then I'll ask you. I'll get back to you guys. Do you have any question? Then only come up. Okay. Otherwise, it will disturb my flow. Okay. See here, while you are creating a class, you may be creating it as an abstract, or you may be creating it as a concrete class. How do you know about what to be created later? Okay, but first thing is, what is an abstract class and what is a concrete class? Abstract class is the one where you have attributes, you have functional components placed, but transaction cannot be, cannot be initiated. What is the meaning of transaction cannot be initiated? You have a class, you have attributes, you have functional components, everything is there. Transaction cannot be initiated means, see, you are going to make a business transaction in your business application by executing the class. Functionalities will start executing, correct? That execution you cannot do. Transaction you cannot initiate. That is not going to be the starting point of triggering point of your transaction. Trigger means initiate the transaction, and transaction ID will be generated usually when you initiate transaction. and transaction will get processed, correct? But that cannot be done in abstract class. If it is an abstract class, it may have attributes, it may have functional components created, but that is not the place where you can initiate the transaction. Now you can tell me about concrete class. Reverse. What is that? It will have attributes, it will have functionalities, transaction can be initiated. Just for your information, concrete class is the one where everything will be there, attributes, functionalities, everything. Transaction can be initiated. Abstract class is the one where attributes are there, functional components are there, but it doesn't have any capability of getting a transaction initiated and taken forward. Transaction ID and all will not be there. Here transaction ID and all will get generated. Now I will ask you one general question. If you are creating an application classes functionalities, out of these two, which one is mandatory class? Concrete is mandatory class. Without concrete, is it possible to run your business? No, as per the definition, right? So a class must, sorry, application must have concrete class. Abstract class is optional. You may or may not have in the reality, but I will tell you why it is needed. See, I will put up a question here. I think it will take more time than what we have. We have only 8 minutes. See here. This is one class. This is like a Venn diagram. Okay. So here you have attributes plus functionalities. And this is abstract class. What is this class? Abstract class. What about this class? Concrete class. Concrete class. Now here you can initiate the transaction. Transaction can be initiated, right? See, if I have written inside circle means that also belongs to outside circle. Yes or no? You know about Venn diagrams, right? Basically. So concrete class has attributes, functionalities, transaction can be initiated, but abstract class has only attributes plus functionalities. Transaction cannot be initiated. Looking at this diagram, we can understand one thing. Abstract class looks like a subset of concrete. Yes or no? Then why do we need to have abstract? We can have only concrete, right? I will create all our concrete classes. Whatever the class I know, I thought I wanted to initiate transaction, I will initiate. Other concrete class, I will leave it without initiate. I can do it or not? I can do it, right? With my own knowledge, I have created 4 classes, all concrete. I thought of initiating transaction in 3. I will design like that. I will initiate. 4th one, I will never initiate. So what is the problem? Why we need abstract class again? You understand the question? Why we have abstract class when it is subset of concrete? You can use concrete only as abstract now. You don't initialize transaction. That means you are trying to make use of concrete as abstract. Why you need to have a separate one? Again, that is one question. Keep it in your mind. We'll come to that solution. What is it? Now let's go into reality. In reality, I have told you about 4 different departments in the bank, correct? Why I am saying bank? Because you can easily understand. Okay, 4 different classes: verification, banking, loan. What is the other one? Insurance. So banking operations will begin at banking class, correct? Creating new account, depositing money, all these are transactions, right? Different all that will begin at banking. Loan department. Loan, if you want to take a loan, the transaction of loan to be initiated at loan department. Can I go to insurance department, ask I wanted to have a loan, can you please start my transaction? They don't have that ability to initiate loan because they do not belong to it. First of all, go to insurance department, ask them, I wanted to initiate an insurance policy and all to take for my company or for my personal. Then will they be able to do it? All these 3 classes have ability to initiate transactions. So all these are concrete. Verification department, they are going to participate and involve during the transaction processing of either bank account verification or loan account verification or insurance account verification for new bank, new loan, new insurance. Are they going to initiate any real business transaction of banking or loan or insurance? No. We need a class of verification separately, yes or no? Then what type of class it should be? This is abstract. And what about these things? concrete. Okay, you create a class without providing anything like this. In Java, in Pega, it is mandatory to choose one of these. That is going to be by default concrete only. You don't write anything, it is going to be by default what? Concrete. You got it right? Okay, now here you go. See, verification department separately we need, means you need a separate class for it. But we do never want a transaction to be initiated there. It will participate during the processing. Then what class it should be? Abstract class is a demand as per the business. It's not that you decide whether to create or whether to use concrete as abstract. It's a demand. We need some class in our business where people should not have any ability to initialize the business transaction. I need a class without an ability. You created a concrete class. With your knowledge, you are not using it as concrete, you are using it as abstract, means you are not creating transaction because you have knowledge. Tomorrow someone else will come. They don't know that. Are they going to initiate transaction? Yes or no? Capability is there. Doing that initializing transaction capability is there, but you are not doing because you know everything. Someone else came, new employee, he doesn't know that. He will be initiating or not. He can create some functionality to initiate some business transaction. That will allow because that is concrete. But it is a strict need in the business. We need some department without the ability of initiating the business transaction for different types of business processes. Then you must create it as a abstract. So abstract class has been introduced into technology as a business need. That's why I'm telling all the time, you must need to know about the business more than technology. Then only you can better understand the technology. Otherwise it will be highly difficult. You don't know anything about business. What you can do with technology? Nothing. Technology always follows the business. Business will never follow technology. Business changes, technology needs to be updated. Okay, based on technology we don't change business. Okay, as per the business, technology should be adaptable to the reality. Okay, so now this is what about abstract class is a demand in the application while you are creating. So you need to know about which one to be created as abstract, which one to be created as concrete. You said now these three can be concrete and this is abstract. That is right. This is the reason why, because we want to create some classes without having any ability to initiate the business transaction. Technology developers have introduced one class separate type called abstract, which doesn't have that ability. You create it accordingly in your application. Understand? Everyone clear? So this is about types of classes. When we create new application, we got so many classes created. We are going to look at these classes and look at what type of classes Pega automatically created. We will manually create in future, that we will see. Okay. So today we discussed about the concept of inheritance in general, and we discussed about the purpose and the need of inheritance in reality and technology, and also the advantages of inheritance. And then we discussed about types of classes and the purpose of each type of class, why it is needed in technology. Can I create an application without even single abstract class? Possible or not possible? Reality, it is possible to be like this. Possible. But abstract class is a need. Whenever need is there, you create. Otherwise, you don't create. But concrete class, can I have an application without concrete class? There is no meaning of running a business, correct? Okay. So that is how you need to understand the technology. So we have collected all your emails through that form. I will be sharing. So you will be receiving this video as usual today on your WhatsApp only. Yesterday I shared a document, right? Classes and all. Today I will be sharing once again the same document, class, abstract class, types of classes, all that. Okay, inheritance document and all. Inheritance in Pega we are yet to discuss. We are yet to discuss organization structure and inheritance in Pega. These two topics once done, we can get into looking into PRPC practicals further using the classes created and creating our own classes going forward. Understand? Two theoretical topics are pending. Yes, please.
Should I not start creating a insurance project from now then? Because like after today, I'm feeling like there's so many things that we should add. Because if we are thinking about banking, then we also need to provide, say, enough security for a user also, because if you are
Why security is coming?
if they are going to register, then and also there's a huge form with getting your account linked